Welcome to Kidingdom Nuggets. My name is Siobhan Halderson, and I am your life coach for today for moms and preteen girls. And today we're going to talk about feeling valued and feeling worthy. So I want to share with you that there are days where we just do not feel like we get it. Like everything is going wrong, or we feel like a bad mom, or we feel like a bad daughter, a bad sister, a bad friend. Maybe we're not doing things right. Maybe we made a very big mistake and either we got caught or we messed up and we're like, oh gosh, and it just snowballs. Sometimes it just snowballs and you just have those days where not one thing can go right. Or you just feel like nobody cares about you. Nobody sees you. Nobody hears you. You don't have any friends. Oh, I don't have enough friends. Or just feeling like, wow, if I disappeared, nobody's going to miss me. If I disappeared, then so what? Right? So some people have days like this, and we all have days and times when we don't feel very valued. We don't feel like we mean anything on this planet. We don't feel like we participate in much of anything, and then we see our friends who are doing amazing, or other people that we know that are doing incredible, and we think, gosh, why do they get it? Why do they get everything? They get everything that's good. They're doing so amazing. Why do I stink at everything? Just things like that just knock the wind out of our sails. And so, all of us have days like that. All of us have times like that. Maybe you feel like you're hidden or alone or unseen. Maybe you feel like you don't matter. And parents even try and figure things out. During COVID this last year, you got to have some mercy on the moms and dads. We've never experienced this before ourselves. This was a very scary thing for all of us to think, are we going to survive through this? Or are we going to have family or friends who might not survive this? Is this going to be our whole future where we have to wear masks everywhere and keep ourselves isolated and away from other people? Well, the truth of the matter is we are created on this planet to have relationship. That's what we're created for. We're created to have relationship. And that doesn't mean just with little old me. That means with our family, with our friends, or with other people who are waiting for us in our future. And I talk about that in a couple of the other videos, but we are made for relationship, and to have that completely cut off, and social media and the news telling us mask on, mask off. You can be near people, you can't be near people. Oh, it's in the air, it's not in the air. We don't know. We're not the experts. We're not scientists, most of us. So we're relying on the information that's being given to us. So you may feel very unvalued or undervalued right now because moms and dads were so busy trying to figure it all out, and many of them lost their jobs or they couldn't work for a long period of time, and now you're all stuck at home together all day 24/7, and you're not used to that. The truth of the matter is in the past this was like this all the time, and families were home all day. Many of the times people would go out and work and do certain things, but many people stayed home and they were with their families all day, every day. It was part of the norm. So now we have families who are not only isolated from their outside world, but now they all have to be together, and they're not used to spending that much time together. But moms and dads are trying to figure it out, or they're feeling bad and scared about the future and what's going to happen. So if you're a kid, if you're one of the preteens that I'm talking to, you may have felt totally ignored this last year. And I'm so sorry for that. I have a daughter too. And there are times when I isolated myself from her and she isolated herself from me. But then we got through it. Then we're getting through it. Now we're figuring things out, how things can work. We're interacting with each other more. We're doing more things together, and she's interacting with her friends a little bit more, and we're figuring it out. It's hard enough to be a preteen because you already feel a little awkward. Your body's changing, your mind's changing, everything's changing. You're making your own decisions about things. You're figuring out things that you like now. You're making more choices for yourself. And so you're already feeling like, I don't really know who I am, but I'm trying to be who I am. So how do I do that and not mess everything up or isolate myself so completely? You're stuck at home on a video game all day long for 15 hours, or you're doing your homework and then you're on video games or on the internet for hours and hours and hours by yourself. And you weren't created to be by yourself. So none of us were created to be by ourselves. So now you may feel very unvalued or undervalued. Maybe mom and dad are not giving you a whole lot of attention and spending quality time with you. Maybe things got messed up in your family a little bit over the COVID situation happening last year, and it still hasn't come back together. And I'm so sorry for that. It's a very difficult time for all of us to try and figure it out. But we are going to move forward, and you are going to move forward because there's a plan for you. There's a purpose for you. You just don't know it yet. Maybe you can't think about past today. Maybe you think if I disappeared today, then who's going to even miss me? Many people will miss you. Why? Because many people that you don't even know, or that you do know, but you don't know how they feel about you, they care about you. They care about what happens to you. They care about what you do and what if you're being successful or you're not being successful. They care about your well-being and who you are and your growth as a person. So if you disappeared on this planet, I mentioned in another video, there's a very famous movie that came out many, many, many years ago, but it's called It's a Wonderful Life. And it talks about this man named George, that George had a situation where he was like, nobody's going to miss me. It's better if I'm just gone. Well, then he got, the second part of the movie is all about what it would look like if he wasn't there. And so you are designated for today. You're supposed to be here. You're supposed to be here right now on this planet because there's something amazing you're supposed to do in your future. And I know that somebody's hearing me right now, and it may be a mom, maybe a dad, it may be a teen, it may be an adult, it may be one of the preteens. But I know you're hearing me right now, and I know that you feel like the whole world will not miss you. But trust me, they will miss you. Why? Because we all work together in this world. You have a part in this world that people are waiting for you to help them, for you to fight and get through this time, because you will make it through this time. Yes, you will. You will make it through this time. And I want to remind you of something. You may or may not believe in God. You may or may not believe in Jesus, but I am a strong believer, so I will believe for you. But God doesn't make junk. I don't believe in the Big Bang theory of nothing and nothing come together and making a bunch of stuff. That has to work together perfectly. Over 1 million things have to work all at the same time perfectly. And one little thing that goes wrong literally can explode our planet. So I don't believe in the Big Bang theory. I believe there's a purpose and a reason for every single thing to be in place, for us to breathe on this planet, to have gravity, for the warmth of the earth, and having the sun and the moon and the stars all in synchronicity, working together constantly to help us to live and breathe. Otherwise, you die in 2 seconds. So that's what I believe. So for you, I want you to know what I believe for you. I believe that God doesn't make junk. He doesn't make trash. He calls you his masterpiece. He calls you his workmanship. He calls you the apple of his eye. And that he made you in darkness in your mom for a plan, for a reason, and laid out your life before you for you to be able to make choices, not knowing what those choices are going to be. He knows what the choices are going to be, but laying your life before you for you to make decisions of which way to go. And he does not make junk. He even, if you think about it, even a skunk is not junk. A skunk, it makes a horrible, awful smell, but it's their defense mechanism. It's the thing that makes them special to protect them so they can survive. And they're very cute. They're super cute animals, but they also have a reason and a purpose to be here. And God does not lie. God can't lie, but if he lied, then nothing would be true about our world. The archaeology that we found that is part of history, the bumblebee, the bee has a specific purpose to pollinate flowers and help all the plants on our planet. That you're just nothing and you don't matter. Every single one of us matters very specifically. And we don't even have the same fingerprints. 1 in 64 trillion people have the same fingerprints, and there's not even that many people on our planet right now. So, God calling you his masterpiece is that he designed you just like a piece of art. Every single piece of art, things could look similar, but they are not exact. Not any time, not any place. And nobody can create the same thing that you do. So though you may have similarities between other people, you are very unique in your own individual person. So feeling unvalued, where does that come from? Where is that root? Does that mean that you're invisible? Does that mean that you're feeling invisible? Because feeling is not fact. Feelings are not fact, right? It's okay to feel, if somebody dies, obviously you're going to feel sad. We have feelings and emotions for reasons, but sometimes most of the time they are not fact. Just because you feel unvalued and invisible and like you don't matter, that doesn't mean it's fact. Just because you feel like somebody sees you and you're really awkward and you may be one of the most beautiful people they've ever seen. So it doesn't make it fact. You don't know what they're thinking. And even if they were thinking something negatively about you, does that matter? Does that really dictate who you are? Absolutely not. Another thing is that God calls you his beloved. He calls you worthy. He says that you are cherished. He says that you are adored. He calls you his child, as if you're his child. That he takes care of you. He provides for you, just like a dad would. Well, a better dad than most every dad on the planet. He is the one that knows what you need. And it's not necessarily what you want, but he knows everything that you need and gives you what you need every day of your life. So, I'm going to share a story with you. So my daughter, when she was a baby, she got not baptized, but she got consecrated. That's the word. Sorry. She got consecrated at this church, which means that I was kind of giving her as a blessing to God and just saying, thank you for my daughter, please bless her life and what have you. It's kind of a prayer type of thing where instead of baptizing her, it's like a prayer over her life, right? As a baby. So she had that done. And 10 years later, she's digging in a drawer in her room and she finds this bag. And the bag was, she said, Mom, what's this bag? And I said, I don't know what you're talking about. And she said, oh, it's got a little baby's Bible in it and a letter. And I said, I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, and then I went, oh, yeah, I get, oh, yeah, that's from when you were consecrated and when you were a baby. And she said, wait a minute. She said, what is Miss her last name at church? And I said, this. And she said, oh my gosh, Mom. So this letter that she had that I had saved in her drawer for 10 years of her life, it was a letter from a woman that we lived in a completely different place when she was a baby. And the woman that was part of her youth group was the same exact woman from a completely different place 10 years ago, signed her name, and it was the same woman. She had been part of a different church that we were going to at the time, and now she kind of had taken my daughter under her wing for about 9 months, and so my daughter knew her very well. But this is 10 years later, the same exact person. So I really believe that every single detail of your life God cares about. He cares about the color of your nail polish. He cares about, your hairstyle. He cares about how you dress, how you present yourself, how you feel about yourself. If you don't feel good about yourself, God is telling you how he feels about you by calling you his masterpiece, by saying, I created you. I made you. I designed you. Will you come join me and hang out with me so I can guide you on what I made for you? And are you ready to take it on? So you feeling undervalued or unvalued, you feeling worthless and feeling like you don't belong here or nobody's going to miss you anyway is an absolute lie, straight from the pit of hell. And I take that and I throw it back to the pit of hell from where it came from. Because you are such a powerful individual, you just don't know it yet. And that's okay because you're figuring it out. But when you accept yourself, if you are undervalued or feeling unvalued or worthless, I hope you receive this right now. I hope you accept who you are and let your guard down, let your heart down, and the lies that are talking to you in your head about that you don't matter. I'm speaking to you right now. You matter more and are more powerful than you even realize. And that is your journey going forward in the future, is recognizing where, and I'm not talking about using power in a bad way. I'm talking about being the individual that you were masterfully created to be and being that amazing, incredible person with helping the people in the future that need your help. That's what I'm talking about here. So some steps to take with these, you can write these down or you can listen back to the video, write down the answers for them for yourself. Okay. So here's some steps for you. Who is one person you can depend on to always be there and who you value and why? Who is one person you can depend on to be there for you or that you value and why? Second, what is one thing you like about yourself? And don't say nothing, because that's not true. You choose your clothes every day. You choose your hairstyle every day. Okay. What is number 3? What is one talent or skill that you have that others do not, or they're not as good as you at something? Number 4, what is something you like about the way you look? Number 5, what is one nice thing that someone has said to you that you were just like, yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Number 6, what is one thing you remember about what God said about you in this video? Okay, so you know I'm a big believer in affirmations. Affirmations may sound totally cheesy, and I get it. I've been there. I've thought that they were cheesy too in my past, and did not take into account how powerful our words are. And maybe they can feel cheesy, but just do this with me. Humor me a little bit, okay? Try something. For the next 7 days, I want you to say 3 affirmations about yourself. Say them out loud. And maybe they feel a little bit awkward, but I want you to let your wall down, let your guard down, let the cheesiness down, and be totally serious. It's like listening to that song when you're playing your sport or doing your thing or doing art that you just jam to. Say the one thing. Say it like that. Like when you're jamming, you're just like, I love myself. I love who I am, and I love my body. I love who God created me to be, and I rock. I am valued. I am cherished. I am loved. I am talented at... Okay, so every day for 7 days, right? You're going to do these. Can you do it? I am loved. I love myself. I love myself. Just very matter of fact. I love who God created me to be. I am His masterpiece, His work of art. I'm the apple of His eye. I am valued. I am cherished. I matter. I matter a lot. I am talented at There is no one else like me. Boom. Okay, so pick three of those. Pick three of those and be very intentional, very matter of fact, like this is how it is. I'm not accepting anything else. And that's it. This is what I believe about myself. This is what I'm going to say about myself. And you cannot tell me different because you don't dictate who I am. My feelings don't dictate who I am. I say no to that. Sometimes we feel like really crummy, for sure. That doesn't mean that you are a crummy person. You are loved. You are cherished. You matter. Yes, you are. Okay. So share with me if you have any experiences about anything that we talked about today. I want you to share it with me. Your personal details are your personal details. So keep those to yourself. But if there's something that really rocked for you today, that really touched you, that hit a chord, like share that with me. I would love to hear about it. Seriously. And I am just glad that you joined me today. I know that there's somebody who needed this video today. Whether you're watching this video one day after I recorded it or you're watching it 4 or 5 years from now, it doesn't matter to me. You were supposed to see this video and listen to this video for a reason and for a purpose because you needed it. I don't know who you are, but you needed it. So I'm so happy that you joined with me today and share with me what you experienced. I would love to hear that. Okay, thank you so much for joining us today on Kidingdom Nuggets. I'm Siobhan Halderson, and I am so happy that you're with me today. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications for any new videos that we're uploading, because we're going to be uploading more and more as we go along. So thank you so much, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.